Okay.
All right, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We've just started the recording for our Fear to Trust gathering for the Tree of Life Sanctuary. And I want to welcome everybody. And we may have other people jumping in on this as we're going through this. But again, this recording is for the purpose of our team coaches for reference if they want to use it. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about why I'm volunteering to do these calls and recruit our team coaches to also get involved is because it's needed. It's really needed. I'm sure all of you in your own world have seen the angst out there, and whether it's within your own family circle or in your clients or just out on the streets in town, in the stores. And so it was just very clear to me that this is a time for Tree of Life Sanctuary to step up. This is a way that we can spread the light, hold the space for transformation to happen. So I'd like to open with a brief meditation, if I might. So what I'd like you to do is just take a moment and settle into your chair, wherever you're sitting, and just focus on getting into your center, however you define your center, but inside of you. And you can close your eyes if it makes it easier for yourself. Just take a moment. I'd like you to envision an energetic taproot extending from the base of your spine that goes deep into the ground below you. Just take a moment and envision that going through the floor below you, through the foundation of your building, into the earth. Take a breath. And as you're focusing on your breath now, I'd like you to take one deep, long breath and then exhale. And then do it one more time. And then breathe regular. Now consider that this is what it feels like to not have the virus. Breathe, feel that full breath into your lungs and how easy it is to breathe in and exhale. And be in gratitude for just a few moments for this blessing. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. Okay. It's important to think of that, huh? I can breathe real easy. So the intention of these gatherings, the goal of the Tree of Life Sanctuary in offering these gatherings, these virtual gatherings, is to help you move from fear to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your connection and relationship with the divine within you. Also, so you can continue to follow your life vision amidst this challenging time and be your authentic self. You doing this makes you a force for healing to everyone around you. We see at the Tree of Life Sanctuary the COVID-19 pandemic as a 2 to 6 month course and how to live this way all the time. How to live in that trust in oneself and in our relationship with the divine within us. So first, the fear. Let's talk about fear a little bit before we begin. Fear is normal. It's the animal part of the human being that's designed to ensure that we survive. It's made to narrow our focus so we can act quickly. And of course, this raises our stress level because we are perceiving a threat. That's the way it's supposed to work. The concern for the soul part of the human being is that the animal part does not always interpret the situation reasonably. And humans are very vulnerable to the fear of the unknown also. Another thing to consider is anger. Anger is also normal. It's okay to be angry right now. There's a lot of things people can be angry at. It's just important to understand why you are angry. And it's because at the core, you feel a loss of control. This, like with fear, is a perspective. And the great thing is that we can choose our perspective. We can remain stuck in the anger or reflect on how we can be reasonable for our situation and take control in ways that serve us. We need to make known out of the unknown in ways that work for us. Motivating ourselves to push the pause button on these low energy, destructive emotions is a challenge, of course. Of course, our mind gets the logic part of this pause button benefit, but the reactive animal in us just doesn't care. It's like, oh, gotta survive. Nothing else matters. Red alert, red alert. And so it takes time to train ourselves to be patient. We need to keep practicing. And if you are a parent, here's one really strong motivator. Children absorb our fear. It doesn't matter whether they're tykes or whether they're in their 30s and 40s. Push your pause button for them, if not for you. Teach them by example. Acknowledge the validity of your fear, and then show them how you work through it. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to pause the Zoom recording now for confidentiality. So hold on one second. Okay, Leah, I just want to mention, we just turned the recording back on and I saw that you were waiting to get in. So I apologize for that. I am going to make sure that we don't have it set up that way for future calls. For some reason, it should have just allowed you to automatically come in. So yeah. I'll fix that and I'll be sure and send you this recording. So let me get back to my notes here. So one of the things I just also want to encourage you is to consider as we wrap this up is for those of you who are in the circumstance where you're at home because of the situation, however that unfolded, and you are not working in your normal, regular work, and you have all of a sudden this newfound extra time. That is a gift. That is a gift. And so I would like you to go to the Facebook Tree of Life Sanctuary colleague group, look at that document that I was talking about, because there is some wonderful, wonderful ideas in there of how to use this time, how to direct yourself into areas if you get stuck. Now, you know, being the people that I know, I happen to know you three quite well. And so I don't think that it's really going to be that much of a challenge for any of you to fill your extra time if you have it. But if it would be worth looking at minimum, just so you can at least share it with other people who might be running into that problem, who aren't used to having unstructured time. Because it's an opportunity to apply that to who you really want to be. How do you want to use this time, this new gift of time? So we are going to have future call gatherings, and it will be announced on our email list through our emails. So it's important that that if anybody wants it, that they be on our email list. And also, if anybody that you know you want to invite to these calls, get me their email so that I can add them to the list, and then of course they'll have to confirm their subscription. But that's the way right now that we're letting people know when they're happening. And then once we get them scheduled, I will post them up to our Facebook page. Okay. And I share them carefully, like to just a few other groups like IPEC and Bellingham Healers, but very limited at this point. So in closing, I would like to, of course, remind everyone to follow the CDC guidelines in this pandemic for self-care. It's really essential. And this self-care includes spiritual reflection and connection with your inner guide. So be sure, keep it up if you're already doing it. If you feel like it's something you could use more of, then do. And set up a way to do that. If you need support with that, let us know. We have lots of ways to help you. And I would like to suggest, I'm not sure if that was maybe Leah's. Let me mute her. It's not Leah, it's somebody else. So anyway, I'd like to suggest that we all also remember the groups of people that need extra support during this pandemic. That would be, as I mentioned during our private period of the call, parents that are now working at home and who now also have their kids being schooled at home by them. Those are the people that are really, really going to be overwhelmed at home. So think of ways that you can support them, relieve their stress to some degree. First responders, the people out on the street dealing with the homeless people. Healthcare workers, they are really going to need help, both first responders and healthcare workers, not only in just whatever they're doing in their job, but they have children too that are not in school. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to need some support to some degree, and that's all also part of what I'm hearing talked about in terms of federal and state assistance is childcare for these professions. And there may be others that we're not even thinking of yet. So just be sensitive in remembering those people. Find ways that if you're inspired to support them, however it might look, doesn't matter. And I'd like to close with a quote that just sprang into my mind on Friday when the emergency was declared. And that is, you were made for these times, and you can do this. And that's it, my dearests. Any closing words before we end the meeting?
Thank you for doing this.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's just yeah, it's good to have some connection. I'm pretty good at staying at home. Actually, it really doesn't bother me that much, but it's
Me
good to
too.
have some connection with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
Indeed,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
very
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
And Lynn, we'll be in touch.
Yes, thank
Maybe-
you. And
yes.
lovely to connect with the two of you, Cynthia and
Yes.
Isabella.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
Leah,
And
Leah, we're sorry we missed you, but we got a little quickie view of your office space there in your bedroom. All right, gang, hang in there and we'll be in touch.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.